What's up, guys? So welcome back. So right now, what we're going to be doing is deploying a Windows server, which is going to be our target server. So that's the machine we're actually going to be targeting, to try and generate some logs from it. And right now, I think I should just give a little bit of explanation, or probably just deploy the server. And once I'm done deploying the server, then I'm going to explaining how we're going to be collecting logs from that server and, you know, putting it into the SIM, which is this guy, this guy. This is the SIM. Let's go. Let's just go home. Yeah, so basically we're going to be ingesting logs from the Windows server into the SIM. So let's just deploy the server right now. So we're going to be deploying a Windows server. I'm gonna go with a shared CPU because I don't need too much, something like a shared CPU, um, a 1V CPU, 2 GB. Yeah, I think I'll go with this one. Yeah. Then configure. The Windows standard is gonna be 2022 x64 bits. I think that's okay. Um, Server name. What we're gonna call this? Okay. I already have my name there, so we'll just stick with that. So we're gonna call that Windows Richard Me. Disable auto backup because we don't need that. We're gonna leave IPv4. Not like we could even disconnect it or disable it. VPC. Hmm. I think I'm gonna leave this for now. I think I want this server being out of like my devices, like among like my shared resources basically. So I'm gonna leave this one out. I don't want it using the same or it being in the same IP range as my SIM. So yeah, then let's just deploy and wait for that to get done. So while I think, oh, that was quick. That was quick. Um, Switch back to the old experience for the time. So anyway, there are two ways you could collect telemetry basically from a device. You could either use an elastic agent or you could either use bits. There are different types of bits that collect different types of logs. It could be file logs, it could be firewall logs, like a firewall bits or something like that. But we're going to be using an elastic agent. So the elastic agent is basically going to be deployed on the Windows server itself, and it could be like a standalone or it could be managed by a centralized server, which is called a fleet server. So for this project, basically, we're going to be using the fleet server to have a centralized location where we can manage all our elastic agents all at once. And it's quite good because if you probably want to like deploy policies, you could just on your fleet server have it deployed to all your devices because you got everything in a centralized location. So let's try and see if our Windows server has been deployed. Okay, stopped. Why is it stopped? It should be running. I think it's not done yet. Most server actions we've done really once it's complete. I think it's still installing. It's not done yet. Um, Not to just waste so much time, I'm just gonna stop this right here. Then meet you guys. Okay, yeah. That's sorted now. So yeah, we have this. If I could just reduce this. So this is basically the Windows server. We're literally like remotely connected to it. Okay, yeah. So we got the server running. This is our Windows machine. As you can see on the IP address here, it's the 78.141.247.169, which is up there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah. So what we need to do next is basically install an Elastic agent to this machine. So we're going to be installing an Elastic agent into this machine here. Then kind of like connected to the fleet server. We're also going to deploy another server. I think let's just go into deploying the next server because that's going to be the fleet server itself. So deploy new server, dedicated Europe, London. It's always good. Remember, always pick the same location you deploy in the servers just to make it easy for you, not to make not having any issues basically. I need the 4 GB. I'll go with this one. One VPC, 4 GB. Yeah. Uh, gonna go 2.0. Okay. I'm gonna name this also. I'm gonna call this the SOC Fleets server, basically. Mm, disable all the backup because we don't need that. Um, I think we're going to select the VPC because we need that now. Be careful if you have a VPC overlapping. Be careful if you have a VPC with overlapping IP blocks. If you attach a VPS to multiple VPCs with overlapping IP blocks, network connection that no will not work correctly. Default net spiral network. Default pirate network. Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna wait for it to deploy. I think we got everything good now. Um, we're just deploying another server, which is gonna serve as the fleet server, which is gonna be the device managing, like a centralized device for all the fleets. That's the Elastic agent, basically, just like I explained earlier. So we're just gonna wait for this to deploy. Mm, still, still waiting for it. It's not done yet. So now the fleet server has been deployed, and so we're gonna go over to the Elasticsearch, and we're gonna click on the hamburger. I call it the hamburger icon. I don't know. Reminds me of like, a hamburger. We're gonna scroll down all the way to management, and I think we're gonna go to fleets. Management fleets, yeah. Add a fleet server. So yeah, we're gonna add a fleet server. Uh, quick start, advanced. I think we're gonna go with a quick start. If you're probably in a production environment, then you could go for something advanced. Or for just this project, I'm just gonna go with um, a quick start. So yeah, uh, quick start. We're gonna name this the Clock Fleet server. Okay. Uh, you are specify what your public. Okay. Um, I think the URL, yeah, the URL is going to be the public IP address of the VM we created for the fleet server. So I'm just going to go copy that, which is this one. So I'll just copy that back here. Then it's going to be an HTTPS / paste the IP address there. Set the public IP or name and port that I just use. So we're going to actually set it to a default port of 8220. So I'm just gonna add 8220. So we have the public IP address for the VM itself and also a default port, which is going to be through 8220. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Generate fleet policy. Bye. Let's generate fleet policy. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're good. Get started. You can see fleet server policy has been created. Um, Fleet server policy and service token have been generated. What configuration at this? You know, install fleet server to a centralized host. So we are going to be installed. I think we're going to use Windows here. This should be the command basically. So this is the command basically used to install the device basically and also installing an Elastic agent on that device. Then also still connecting it over to the fleet server, where we have that centralized place for everything. Um, just like it says, install fleet server agent on a centralized host so that other hosts you wish to monitor can connect to it. So yeah, okay, I think it's gonna be the Windows, yeah. No, it's gonna be this one. Oh, I think you just copy. Okay, that's copied. Okay. Um, we're gonna basically SSH into our machine. Hmm. No, I'm just gonna open another one because I'm still connected to like the SIM itself. So I'll just connect over SSH root at the IP address. Copy the password. Most configurations, most times, are usually done on like the terminal itself. So we're gonna play this out. Um, Remember, every time you deploy a new server, you always go do your apt get update and apt get upgrade. Oh no, I think this is just so fun. When you do things like this, you just get to like it, and you get used to it. You get used to it. apt, yeah, upgrade. That's why. Mm. So we're just waiting for like the update and upgrade to be done. Then I think what we're gonna do next is basically just pasting the command and deploying it. Like you hit enter, and let's see what it's gonna do for us. You know. Yeah, so that's done. We're gonna clear that out. Okay, let's go back and get this guy. So right now, what we're actually doing is connecting this server over to the SIM, which is gonna manage the fleet. The Elasticsearch has a lot of capabilities with it. You could use it for detection. You could use it to manage your servers like this also. In case, oh wait, all right. I think this might take a while, so I'm just gonna pause the video for a minute and get back to you guys when it's done. Okay, guys. So we're not done because we got an error. Um, I don't know why we have an error. Basically, error enroll command failed. for unknown reasons. So we basically got an error, error on installing prints and debug with a configuration from real task. Free server failed, timed out. Hmm. I'm thinking it has to do with the firewall rule. Probably the firewall rule, maybe. Um, let's see. Because I don't think we've configured any firewall rule here. You know what? I'll just go firewall. Yeah, because we created a firewall rule basically only allowing the the same VM itself, to be able to connect. So we need to create a new rule allowing, this VM's IP address. So I'll just create a new rule. Oh, go custom. What's the IP address? We gotta go copy the IP address. That's this guy. Okay, that's been added. So on the ELK server, it was a good thing I didn't log out from the ELK server because now I also need to configure the firewall rule from the ELK server basically to allow my fleet server to be able to connect to my team server. So I'm gonna do a UFW allow um 9200. Okay, so basically I think the issue here is the firewall rule, like I already said. The fleet server needs to be able to communicate with the ELK server, and as you can see, I configured the 9200. That's the listening ports for the Elasticsearch. So I'm allowing it to be able to, receive connections basically. Um, I'm gonna try and run the command again and let's see if it works. Um, Probably we're not gonna have any issues this time. Oh yeah, yes guys. Yeah, you can see that successful, isn't it? Successful enrolled the Elastic agent. That is great, great news. Elastic agent has been successfully installed. That is good. So now we have Fleet server connected over to the ELK server itself. So let's go back here. Oh yes, you guys can see. I'm gonna try and move my face away. Let me see. I'll just put my face right here. As you can see, Fleet server connected. You can now continue enrolling agents. So we're gonna continue enrolling the Elastic agents. I'm gonna rename this agent policy one. I'm gonna change this to SOC Windows policy. So basically, this is gonna be enrolled to the Windows server. So select metrics here. It's gonna create a policy. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna copy this command I'm gonna copy this command basically. I think we're gonna paste this on our Windows server. Go back to so yeah, let's go to our Windows machine. I'm gonna try and bring this to my screen. Okay. Um, we're gonna open Windows PowerShell. I'm gonna run this as admin. I think you guys just bear with me because I'm still getting used to like knowing how to like use the screens and like everything, but we're gonna get better as long as we're getting it done. So I'm gonna paste the command in here and click enter. This is us trying to basically enroll the Windows server into the Fleet server so you can, collect logs from it. Um, I think this might take a while, so I'm just gonna pause this and show you guys when it's done. You can see it's stolen. Might take a while, so I'm just trying to show you guys it's basically installing. Okay, guys, we got errors. We got errors. Let's see what the problem is. Um, Error failed to enroll, failed to execute request of free server. Hmm. Let's try pinging this. Let's try pinging the field server. Let's see if that's active. Um, ping. Yeah, we got connection to it. As you can see, we got connection, so that's okay. So what could be the problem? All right, guys, go troubleshoot. Go troubleshoot. Let's see. All right, I'm going to try and see if I can figure this out. Then I'll get back to it. Not so I just don't make the video too long. Oh, okay, now I get it. We got an error basically because of the certificate, like a digital certificate. Wasn't signed. So I think we're going to rerun the command and add the dash dash in dash dash insecure. Hopefully this should work. Uh, Taking a while, so yes. Oh yeah, you can see that successfully installed. So we're good. Okay, guys, as you can see on the screen, we've been able to literally enroll our Windows server into the Fleet server. So which is great. As you can see, Elastic Agent has been installed. So we have an agent basically on our Windows server that can, ingest logs from its machine basically to the SIM. And also you could also update policies if we needed to update policies. So this is good. So now we're just gonna move on. So as you can see, we have logs now. We got logs coming into the SIM. As you can see, it's a logs basically generated from the Windows server. And look at that. That's just amazing. We have logs now coming in all the way from the Windows server directly into the SIM. And now we can, query it, trying to find maybe file creations, trying to find different things. So this is great. This is great, guys. you know. As you can see, we already have 6,511 files already. That's so much you can literally, ingest into the sim. Like the amount of logs you can generate can be a lot sometimes. So it's always good when you can fine tune it. You can kind of like get specific kind of logs you want. Sometimes most of this are just informational, nothing really helpful in like trying to like detect threats or malware or anything like that. So um yeah, that's great. We got this working. We're going to be moving on to the next step.